It's the middle of 2022. I'm walking into my room, just coming up the stairs, and I just got back from school. But I'm not about to have an amazing day where I'm on the game or I'm on Discord. I go up to my mirror in my room, the one right there, and I just look at myself in the mirror for a second. And I'm pissed off. I'm angry. I'm kind of insecure in that moment. Because for the entire day, my friend group just decided, you know what? Why not just make fun of a Tharp because he's a fat ass? You know what? That seems like the logical thing to do. So that's what they did. And I put up the front of, I'm not insecure. It's okay. Personality is what matters. But deep down, bro, I was pissed off. I felt like I was beneath others in that moment. And so as I'm looking at myself in the mirror, I can see my double chin coming down. I can see the years of just gaming and scrolling and eating junk food slowly starting to mess with me. I do the logical thing that any fat 12-year-old would do. I start punching myself in the stomach because I hate the way that I look, and I just hate feeling insecure, feeling beneath others, feeling like I'm not worthy of respect. And I tell you that story there because I make this video for that young brown fat kid in mind. And I'm going to make this video genuinely just going to detail everything step by step that I wish I knew that I needed to now having lost over 17 pounds and basically quitting all my addictions and reversing my life now. And so if you want to actually make progress on this journey, if you feel stuck, if you feel like you just don't like yourself because of being fat, of these addictions, then this could be the most single-handedly most important video for you that you will ever watch this year. Now, quick disclaimer though, for this video to work, you're going to have to do one thing, and you're going to have to, right now, just imagine that as you're watching this video, there will be times, I guarantee you, there will be times where your lizard brain, this part of your brain that just wants you to stay in this bubble of comfort, in this perpetual desire for just these bad habits like junk food, scrolling, gaming, that part of your brain will act up. It will make me out as if I'm a prick. You're going to watch this video, you're going to think that I am stupid, that I'm not in touch, that whatever I'm saying isn't going to work for you. But you're going to have to be on the lookout for that, and to just quickly, as that part of your brain's acting up, to just shut it down. And if you don't believe me, if you don't believe that part of your brain exists, think about the last time your mom or your dad came into your room and told you, dude, get off the game. Go and actually do something. It's been 8 hours, bro. That part of your brain probably acted up in that moment. It did for me. I'd get into shouting matches with my parents because I didn't want to get off Genshin Impact, bro. I was a gooner. I was a gamer. But it's not going to help you if you want to lose fat, if you actually want to change as a result of watching this video. So that's just a quick disclaimer for you to know. Now, the first part of this video, and this is probably the most important part, is I'm going to go over why I stayed stuck as the fat kid for over 4 years. Because the truth is, most advice on YouTube, most of it, maybe even all of it, is garbage. It's retarded, it's terrible, and it's just a waste of time. Like, dude, I literally watched, like, I'm not even kidding, a few weeks ago, I just randomly came across this, like, YouTube short or something, where it was like, the top 5 ways to lose fat quick, and I'm like, okay, what the hell is it gonna say? And I'm not even kidding, the video literally just, it was just random Asian girl saying, oh, you want to lose fat? Drink more water. Replace junk food with vegetables and fruit. No way. Oh my god, no way. If it was that easy, then wouldn't everybody be jacked? That was the most retarded thing I've ever seen, but the truth is, most people that make these kind of videos, they haven't been fat before. Genuinely, look at the jacked black dude making those random videos about like fitness. He hasn't been fat before. He doesn't know what it's like to be in your position. So how could he possibly give you any useful advice? And you'll see this in the advice that people give. It's so out of touch. It's so stupid. It's so brain dead that it almost makes sense that most people are stuck fat for the rest of their life. So how did I get out of this? How did I escape this trap? Well, I had to understand the most important thing, the most important misconception when you're trying to actually lose fat and fix your life in general, which is trying to just get rid of your bad habits, like junk food, going on the hub, scrolling, gaming, like as a collective, all of those habits. It is impossible to just snap your fingers and get rid of them or to try and willpower your way out of this. And so you might ask, okay, Tharv, how the hell do I get rid of these habits? And how do I actually make progress in this area of my life? Well, you have to understand, and this is possibly the most important thing about bad habits and, of course, about trying to lose fat. Those addictions to things like junk food, for example, you might think, okay, yeah, I just eat junk food because it tastes good. And there's some truth in that. They've been engineered to just screw with your brain and just make you want to have more of it. But there's usually a deeper reason for why you have these bad habits. See, when I was the fat kid, when I used to genuinely punch myself in the stomach, I would look for junk food, not just because it tasted good, but because I had to artificially spike up my happiness. Because I lacked it in real life. I lacked that feeling of content and that feeling of just being at peace with myself. Because when you're getting fat shamed every single day and your entire life just revolves around video games, junk food, scrolling, there's no way for you to just feel happy. When you're getting fat shamed every single day, when you feel beneath others, when you're getting into daily arguments with your parents, you need something to counteract that. And that was where junk food came in. It gave me that sense of comfort, that sense of just being at ease. And because I lacked that in real life, junk food would fill that void inside of me. And that's why it was so difficult for me to get rid of it. Now let's look at another one. This is one you might relate to. I used to basically just revolve my entire life around gaming. Literally, as soon as the day would start, let's say it's a weekend, I would get out of my bed with stank ass breath. I would go over to my desk and I'd just play video games. I would literally just wake up without even having my eyes fully open. I'd be on Discord. I'd be looking for people to get on with. And I always thought that it was just like this random hobby that I had, this fun thing that I used to do, even though honestly it was kind of brain dead. I didn't have that much fun. But I've honestly realized at this point that there was a much deeper reason for why that addiction existed in my life. You see, what do you get in video games? You get prestige, you get fast progress, you get things that reward you for your effort. Consistent progress, brotherhood, people respect you. So when the fat younger me, who doesn't feel like he belongs, who genuinely doesn't have any friends that don't fat shame him at this point, when I'm getting into daily arguments with my mom and dad, when I feel insecure and beneath others, video games become such an amazing part of my life because now I don't feel beneath others. All of a sudden, I don't need to feel like I'm hiding myself, that I need to do these shirt pulls and all this BS to try and hide the fact that I'm fat. I just could make progress in the game and just ignore my life, just ignore the fact that I was dissatisfied with who I was in real life. So here's what I'm trying to get across. The reason your bad habits exist, and this is extremely important because when you're trying to lose fat, you basically just want to get rid of these, is you will never be able to quit or get rid of or reduce these addictions when you don't solve the root cause, which is just a void inside of you that they're trying to fill. So the truth is, you don't just get rid of bad habits. You don't just snap your fingers and suddenly you get rid of video games. You start not going on the hub and you just start, I don't know, ascending. Like, there's no real way to do that. You need to instead replace those habits with other things that give you that same internal fulfillment. And I'll get way more in depth about that in the next section of the video. But for example, with gaming, I had to decide, okay, I don't want to be a loser, right? I don't want to just level up in the game and in real life I'm just a faggot. So I decided, okay, why don't I just replace these addictions with other things that can make progress in real life? And so I replaced those habits eventually with video games. I replaced it mostly just with studying, where I literally, not even kidding, and this is not like to flex, I literally just decided, you know what? I might as well just start grinding with studying. And so I just got to like grade 12 math while I'm in grade 10. And I would use like, as the pages would go by, that would be like my level bar, the thing that I would track. The other thing that I replaced, my bad. The other thing that I replaced, like video games, endless video games with, was going to the gym and working out. And it sounds like the gay like Sigma Alpha routine, right? But the truth is, and again, I'm going to go way more in depth about how you can do this too, but essentially I was able to get to things like progress and brotherhood and self-respect from these habits rather than getting them from the game. And that is so powerful, right? Imagine if you could just get those same desires fulfilled, but without the stupid habits and arguments with your parents. Imagine if you could just feel like you're making progress and that you have respect and that you have brotherhood and that you have all these things that we want, but from real life. Now I'm going to go more, literally the next section of this video, all I'm going to do is I'm going to give you the autistic step-by-step guide to essentially just get rid of all of those bad habits and replace them with the right habits. So what habits did I use to replace the bad habits with? Well, there was three main ones. There was a couple more, but the three main ones that I introduced into my life were studying, working out, and then reading. Because the thing is, with reading specifically, I kind of just replaced all of the BS short form content that I didn't even enjoy watching with the somewhat slower but equivalent enjoyment that you get from reading. Think about it. You used to enjoy reading. If you're anything like me, back in like 4th grade, 5th grade, think about it. You would actually read just because you enjoyed it. But now these addictions like junk food, scrolling, gaming have robbed you of these good habits. And instead, they've just become these parasites that are leeching all of your enjoyment from your life. So quickly, I just want to go over this. Right now, you might be thinking, wait, Athar, but I don't want to get rid of these habits. I don't want to get rid of scrolling. I don't feel like getting rid of gaming. Why can't I just do both? And I stayed stuck in that same mindset for years. I thought that there would be some way to just do both. I would see the jacked bodybuilder doing like the stupid 10,000 calorie challenge and all that BS. And I think, you know what? I can just do both. And guess what? I stayed fat because the truth is, you can either level up in the game or you can level up in real life. You can either get your enjoyment from junk food, scrolling, going on the hub. These pretty enjoyable, but ultimately sad and depressing waste of time. Or you can get those same things from another source. The truth is, and this is going to sound like I'm being kind of a prick, but if you want to stay fat, if you want to continue living the same life of dissatisfaction where you're miserable, you hate the way you look, keep doing the same habits. But if you want to change, if you genuinely think that what I'm saying here makes sense, if you want to lose fat, if you want to stop being fat shamed, if you want to stop feeling insecure, it comes through eliminating the stuff that's been ruining your life. And you know exactly what those things are. Now, more importantly, you need to have more than one habit that you're going to introduce into your life. Because imagine if you've been working imagine that you're, at this stage of your life, you play video games and eat junk food and scroll for 10 hours a day. You can't really reasonably work out for 10 hours a day. You can't necessarily study for 10 hours a day. You can't just read for 10 hours a day. You need to have different things that you put your time into so you're not drawn towards those other habits, those other things that are ruining your life. So that's why I needed a combination of these things. Like, for example, videos on YouTube that would actually improve my life. Reading, studying, going to the gym. Essentially, I needed to create this new default state. These new things that I could do that would replace each individual habit that was ruining my life. So, I'm going to go over now the one important thing that you need to understand, which is if you just exit this video now and you just say, okay, well, I'm going to replace all my habits, it's not going to work. Because there's one more crucial thing that you need to understand, and that is you're not going to be consistent. I know I wasn't. I genuinely wasn't consistent. I genuinely think that I was kind of a retard in that sense. Because my idea was, okay, I already play video games for 8 hours a day. I might as well just try and study and work out and do all these things for hours and hours every single day. And then I never stay consistent. I might get 1 day in, 2 days in, and then I would just relapse. I would just like snap back like a rubber band. Because, and this is something you need to understand. Your habits right now currently exist almost like a level in a video game. Now that you've probably been scrolling every single day, going on the hub, playing video games, at least that was what I was doing. After years of doing that, my video game skill, you could call it my threshold for it was like level 50. I could play for hours every single day. Whereas at the start, I might only play for half an hour, 1 hour a day. But just like in a video game, when you're trying to introduce habits into your life, if you go in the same route as like the retarded New Year's resolution guy who like says, "Oh, I'm gonna go to the gym at 6 a.m. every single day," you set the difficulty level way too high for your current skill level. If you haven't been working out consistently, your skill level for working out is probably level 4. So don't set the level to level 20 because you're not gonna be able to stay consistent. It's like you're going to get one shot by the boss because you just aren't at a high enough level yet. So, how do you actually start doing good habits then? Well, and I'm going to go way more autistic level. Actually, you know what? I think I'm just going to give you the analogy that potentially would just make the snap, just like it did for me. You need to start with these daily quests, these things that were extremely easy to do. But let's say, for example, what I did was I wrote out a piece of paper just like this. And let's say, this one is just like an example. Let's say it's for studying. I would write down, okay, the numbers 1 through 14 or 1 through 7. And I'd write a bunch of boxes next to them. And every single day you do the habit, just tick it off. But here's the important part. Set the habit's difficulty to such a low level that you feel retarded while you're doing them. And if you do that, trust me when I say, you will replace all of your bad habits, and more importantly, you won't stay stuck anymore. You won't hate your life anymore. You won't feel like you're beneath others anymore. And all of that just came down to me accepting that A, you have to replace your bad habits, and B, you need to start at a lower level to actually increase up to that level. Now, I'm going to release, and I'm going to link to this video, a step-by-step guide that I personally use this. I'm just going to make sure that shoot. Okay. Slight problem. Like the thing's like red and shit. I don't know. I hope that doesn't screw the video up. But it's like probably low battery. Real quick. The best way to work out is to just start small. Don't even overthink it. Don't even look at those videos that are like, oh my God, here's the right way to grow your glutes. Nobody cares. Those videos are for later when you're trying to optimize. Right now, the only goal that you should have is to just start. To do the daily quest. To just get the reps in. So that over time, after, for example, you reach level 10 with working out, now you can optimize. Okay, now I'm going to fix this part of my diet too. Now I'm going to start going to the gym and weight training to build muscle. But you can only do that when you just take the first step. And that's what I intend this video to be. The first step for you today to make progress on this journey. Create your starter quest tracker. And dude, trust me when I say, in a couple of weeks, your life will not be the same. I hope that's all. Oh yeah, one more thing. My bad. One more thing. Make sure that every single week, once you're consistent enough at a lower level, you can actually just double the amount of time. You can double the difficulty. So instead of 5 minutes of working out, by the way, start with like 2 or 3, 5 minutes. Keep it absurdly low. But once you're at that level where you can stay consistent, take it from 3 minutes to 5 minutes and 10 minutes. And once your parents, for example, see, okay, yeah, you're actually staying consistent, then they'll probably allow you to go to the gym. then you can start optimizing there. But you have to start at this really low difficulty so that your brain doesn't just burn out and you go back to being a Genshin Impact addict. Okay, that's all I have for today. My bad, dude. My mic's gonna die. See you, bro.